Hello and welcome to the temple. I am your high priestess, Erin Siniva McHugh, and I am so pleased to welcome you here. As we enter this temple, I welcome the presence of our higher selves. I welcome the presence of the highest consciousness into this space, highest love, highest compassion. I ask for the divine to hold us in the light today, and I welcome the benevolent teachers and weavers of the divine plan to grace this space, to support the expansion and sharing of spiritual experience and education. This is the place where we witness the work that we talk about. We can be present for the unfolding of hearts returning to their true medicine. And you may be called to this space because you are seeking a connection with your divinity, or you are seeking a place where you can truly dive in to your inherent perfection, remember how to heal, and to walk the path of love in full participation in the restoration of the divine plan on earth. And so it is. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. I am so pleased to welcome Elizabeth, also known as Qetesh, all the way over in Australia. Welcome,
Hello.
welcome. So
Thank
glad.
you for having me on.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's an honor and a pleasure. Qetesh, or Elizabeth Evans, as Qetesh, Healing is the name of your work, your business. You are an author. You work with Galactic Astrology and Starseed Akashic Records. You're a hypnotist and ET contactee, and you help people get in touch with their multidimensional selves. And we'll be sharing your links, I'm sure, throughout. Hi, Lori. Welcome. Oh, welcome. So should I refer to you as Elizabeth or Qetesh? What do you prefer?
Elizabeth. Elizabeth's all good. Yeah.
So
Elizabeth's fine.
So is Qetesh a spiritual name, or is it the name of your work?
It's the name of my work. It's like sort of like an aspect of my soul, the divine feminine part.
Yes.
Qetesh is the name of a goddess being.
Oh, from where?
From Egypt.
Really?
Egypt.
I've
Yeah.
not heard of her. Tell me more about her. Who is Qetesh?
Well, this is like, it's like a divine feminine. It's like, the aspect of my soul that's like divine feminine that's just coming through. Like I'm only like a very small aspect of this part, but it's just a very interesting sort of energy that takes sort of many names, but I sort of view this energy as more of like one of the divine feminine celestial beings, and that there's some wisdom that comes through that, and that's what I attempt to channel through in my work and with like my higher self in some of these sessions. That part is what's being channeled through that part of me. So it's a part of me that the reason why I'm so connected with the cosmos and why I really love this galactic work is that you realize when you go back that you've taken part in this as well as a creator being.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of divine feminine creators, and then there's divine masculine creators, and then there was like this merging at the beginning where like I sort of saw that we helped to create this universe, this universal body. And I attempt to bring part of that through whenever I speak and whenever I do things.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. So you have a lot of training in, it seems to me, so I consider myself an earth seed. I've been here for a very long time, and or my soul has, I'll say. And for a while in my journey, I was really hooked into the maybe the popularity of being a starseed. And kind of hooking it like, oh, I'm a starseed and I'm here to remember all the things, right? That's kind of a little bit what it feels like,
Yeah.
The the popularism of it that happens. And through just deepening my work and becoming more of who I am, I realized like I actually haven't left the planet in a really, really, really long time.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to connect that part of myself.
Mm.
When I do readings for people, like often, that information will come through for others, but I don't have a lot to relate to within it.
Mm.
And
Mm.
it seems to me, the more that I feel into who you are and I read your work and things, it's like you're the opposite.
Well, I have had lifetimes on Earth, but they've been in a galactic sort of body, like a Syrian being
Okay.
that, helped humans, like in the times of Atlantis, helped humans to understand. So like I came in during those times in like a galactic body, and I haven't been like a Earth human before. That was the magical surprise when I first went to the Akashic Records myself, and then went up there with my guides. And then it was like, oh, like I was asking, like, what is the most major thing that I'm dealing with right now in my lifetime? And it was just like, oh, a lack of experience as an Earth human. I'm like, great. And then my guides were like comforting me, like, it's okay, it's okay. It's everyone's first time, you know, at one point. At
Yeah,
one
at some
point that
point, right.
everybody has a first time. You just have a lack of experience in this Earth body. And it's just like, oh, that explains something. So for some people, if they take a more grounded perspective, it can actually be very empowering to know that, like, for particular souls, that they haven't necessarily been here before, but there are many different types of starseeds, and some have been here for many different lifetimes and have had many Earth lifetimes, and some starseeds haven't had so many Earth lifetimes. So for whatever particular reason, my soul just decided to come in at this particular time. The reason that was given was like that my energies were not going to be accepted until the present moment. So I was like,
Like,
okay.
Earth just can't handle you until they're ready
Yeah.
for you. Yeah.
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 How awesome. So, can you describe to me what a session with you might look like?
So it depends what sort of session. So with the hypnosis sessions, we go deep. We go very deep. Like with the soul center healing hypnosis sessions, these are the ones that I do most of the time. And this is like an entity release hypnosis that I'm trained in. So we do the entity release on the front end. Then we may do a past life, and where we go very deep, and then we talk to the higher self that channels through the body. So it's very much like and I've done quantum healing hypnosis technique as well, like with the Dolores Cannon. I've done that as well, and I've done beyond quantum healing, which is the other sort of modalities. So I've done 3 of those, and I've you know during all of these sessions that I've done, hundreds and hundreds of sessions, like we do go very, very deep, and some people have they're just shown whatever they need to see at the time. Like there's no sort of attachment to it. It's what their higher self needs them to see
So
at the time.
you don't necessarily go with an agenda. It's like what is my soul ready for?
Yeah, yeah. We never go into an agenda with the quantum hypnosis sessions. We never go into it with an agenda. It's just whatever that person needs at the time, and that's what comes through. I use my voice to help them go into this state, and then they speak to me, and they end up wherever they end up, whether it's a Earth lifetime. I've had many people who have come to me, and they've been like witches and burnt and all of the rest of it. And then I've had people who have come to me, and they're like galactic, and then people who have come to me, and then they're just the Dolores Cannon, what she calls the digging potatoes lifetimes, which is like entirely ordinary lifetimes. So there's just the whole spectrum of different lifetimes that people can experience. So it's not just the galactic lifetimes. With this sort of work, you can experience all sorts of different lifetimes, and even quantum sort of aspects in the future. Like you
Right.
can experience timelines in the future where like you're just clearing up that timeline, like, you know, where like AI takes over completely and we're clearing up that particular timeline and experiencing it so that we can like heal this timeline that we're in and become more whole in regards to that.
So in regards to like future timelines, you're affecting this one by working on others? Or
Yes, it's like our existence is a multidimensional mess. And
indeed.
that's what you go into with these
Yeah.
sessions. It's just like it is tapping into all of these different sorts of aspects, and some people tap into multiple aspects in a session. Like they jump, like they can jump from like a earth life, and then we finish the earth life, and then we do another earth life, and then we do a galactic life, and like they, you know, do bam 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 all in the one
Mm,
session. So
very cool.
that's just whatever people need to see
Right.
comes up.
Right. Goodness. So what does it feel like your galactic wisdom is meant for at this time? If you're, okay, yes, your soul waited for the prime time that we were gonna need your support
Mm.
on the planet. How do you find yourself supporting, especially right now, the last, gosh, month and a half or 2 months of
Yeah.
disturbances?
Mm.
How is your soul showing up?
Yeah. Well, I feel like I've, you know, the last session that I had, so I have these sessions on myself as well, and they help me to, you know, understand my shadow and heal better so that I can help others and so that I can, you know, bring some of my gifts and experiences. So I feel like the reason why I'm here at this time is especially to do with the period that we are in now. It's almost like, you know, there's like an exclamation mark above my head or a deja vu of like what I decided to talk about and do before I came down into this body. It's just like, you know, there was an agreement that yes, I was going to be part of this awakening and part of this disclosure and helping humanity to become like a, you know, a galactic, like have that galactic wisdom and transition into that society where we're, you know, we're all aware of what's been going on and we're making contact with these galactic beings, because, you know, there's negative ones and then there's positive ones and we need to be able to discern.
Yeah.
So discernment is a big part of what I do, because with a lot of the starseed stuff, it's completely ungrounded because there's absolutely no discernment. People are like, oh, you know, I'm channeling Ashtar, I'm just going to let him in my body. It's like, no. No. Maybe that's not a good idea. Maybe you shouldn't let a random dude that you don't know from the astral realm into your body. Like there's so much energy entanglement with that. So I'm here to teach the galactic wisdom from a grounded perspective.
Thank goodness. Yeah. I've certainly been keen on the Galactic Federation, and there's different, basically there's different galactic organizations, some of them that have been compromised and some of them that are pure of heart. What can you say about that?
Well, I've seen lots of lifetimes of my own where I've been in the Galactic Federation and, you know, and I've been like a lion being or a Rigelian being, and like I was like hurt or killed in the end because of the infiltration. So I'm very well aware that there's this infiltration that's has been taking place. It's sort of, the scale is so big. Like what's happening on the earth is like a microcosm of like a macrocosm, what's been happening in the galaxy. And it's not all roses and lollipops, as I found out. There's all sorts
Great.
of different things at
We,
play.
we
It's
were
not
hoping
bubblegums and
everybody was just going to
lollipops.
come and save us.
No, no, they've got their own shit to deal with out there. But,
Mhm.
you know, there are higher dimensional benevolent beings that are helping us, that, you know, have that higher perspective, that
Yeah.
understand that, like, yeah, this is what we're going through, and we're going to, like, try and help the other beings in this particular galaxy, because we're all in this together. We're all in this same big sand pit. We've all got to play play well with each other. So
Yeah.
everyone's at different levels. All of the galactic civilizations are at different levels. Some of them are neutral, some of them are negative, and some of them are very much for the benefit of humankind.
So which ones can we trust that you, I know I want to say this,
Yeah.
like, oh, we're not
Yeah.
gonna, we all are going to practice our own discernment.
Yeah.
But from your perspective, what feels safe and what doesn't feel safe?
Mm. Well, anything that's like Ashtar or Galactic Federation wanting to jump into the body is a big red flag for me. Anything that wants to
Anything
jump into
that's
your
knocking
body
on your door
that
without
channels.
inviting it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, anything that's just like, oh, I want to channel in the body, let me in. It's just like, no. Because there's a whole other thing with, demonic entities that I'm not even going to go into as well. That's, part of the multidimensional space that we live in. So we have to be careful about like what we're inviting in, but also what can we trust? It's like finding out how to trust yourself first, and like differentiating your own shadow and what's going inside of you is going to help us understand and discern better what's going on outside of us, so that we can sort of understand patterns of certain behaviors. Like, for example, if there's negative reptilian energies coming through, you need to understand that inside of yourself first, to understand what that looks like and the patterns that connect to what's going on the outside, so that you can discern, or like, well, what's false light, and you need to understand, like, from your own perspective going inwards, like what that looks like inside you, like where are some lifetimes that you have had where you have played in that false light energy, in order to understand the patterns of how it looks like on the outside. So it's like, it's a very it's more of an internal journey rather than an external journey. You find the internal journey first, and then you connect to the cosmos, but the internal journey comes first. It's difficult to know who to trust, because there's beings in the astral realm that can present as anything. They can be shapeshifters.
Yeah.
And some of us who have gone into these astral spaces, we're shapeshifters ourselves. We can appear as anything that we want to appear as in the astral realm, if you discover that ability. So it really helps you to understand, if you approach this from like an internal, a very grounded internal perspective, and understanding yourself before we understand the cosmos, because it exists within here too. We've been all of those beings, and people don't like me saying this, but we've been the bad ones too. We've been the reptilians, we've been the Draco. I've been a Draco. I've also been like a higher dimensional dragon being, and still am.
Right.
So we have all of these different aspects, and all of these different aspects can work with you so that you can understand what's taking place. So it's really like, this deep journey within yourself, like, and then you get to relate to the outer world after you've discovered that from within.
There is this resonance that we have to be aware of. I learned through mediumship and participating in plant medicine ceremonies, where it was common that we would refer to it as passing suffering spirits. And so you are basically allowing yourself to be a vessel or a conduit for these suffering spirits to move through you, and you would direct them to the light. And so, through understanding how that was happening, was that there is a resonance within your being, that spirit, right, like has a similar frequency, similar pain, similar, wounding, that draws them to you. And I have discovered this, similarity with when we have entity attachments, or have, end up with reptilians in our fields, is because we have a resonance with those beings,
because we were
one way or another. whether
Yeah,
it's a
we were.
shadow aspect or a positive, light filled being, like
Mm.
if you're attracting a lot of reptilians, it might be that there is a resonance, and maybe there's a shadow part within your being that you need to come to terms with.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And like the more you do this work and the more these multidimensional energies come in, the more it stirs up some of these reptilian aspects that are coming out. And you're like, oh, I feel this way about, this particular thing. And I'm so angry. And that's that aspect. It's like, coming through you in a way. And then it attracts those beings to you. It attracts that resonance to you. It's like this beacon that's bringing in that to you, this reptilian aspect.
Right. It
And
just starts flowing to you because you've opened
you've
that
opened the door. Yeah.
yeah, you've opened that. It's, certainly challenging right now because we are in this, this very unique moment where reality is cracking open.
Mm.
And there's this huge connection between, what's being uncovered in the populace, right? Everybody knows what I'm talking about, and that the connection to these nefarious galactic beings. And
Mm.
a lot of people might not have the all of the pieces in between on, they might not know how they connect, but it's really important for people to know that they are connected,
Mm.
and that within that, there are these different layers that we have to be conscious of how we are responding
Mm.
to the information, because the mother's rage is real. The mother's
Mm.
rage does not come from Draco reptilians. The mother's rage
Mm.
is right.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
so when we are, you know, feeling what we're feeling, like there's this huge anger that's rising as a response to, what's being unveiled, we have to be so conscious about um, uh, being responsible with that energy,
Mm.
or else the beings who are creating
We're
anger
resonant at that.
are
Yeah.
benefiting from our anger,
Yeah.
right? Who create the beings that created this whole fucked up situation benefit from you losing your shit,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, so how do you, support people, or, just collectively guide people to say, okay, you have your feelings, how do you protect yourself from being loosed? Because I don't know if that's the proper way to
Mm.
use the word,
Mm.
but to have your authentic energy consumed by these beings that activated it.
Mm. Well, there's processes that you can go through to seal off your energy body to that as well. Like with some of these clearings that I do, like I help people to seal off their energy bodies to that. Like, there's been like, and I guess you would be aware of some of this too, like this manipulation, black magic manipulation in the background that helps to siphon away some of these things, like Jehovian seals, for example, on the energetic body of humans. Um, this is like a reptilian thing that's can you be used to take some of that energy away. So just making sure that you understand this is from a like multi-dimensional perspective as well. Even if it's difficult, just have a real feel into where your energies are going, and just an awareness, like a try to cultivate this, like an understanding of energies, where your energy is going. If you have anything on yourself, just to be very, very like still and feel into this and trust yourself as to understand, because you can do clearings on yourself. I do clearings on myself all the time, and And this helps to identify where some of these energies are coming from in the body. And then also, like, I like to protect myself with sacred geometry, but sacred geometry that makes sense to me, like
What is
diamond sort of
yeah, tell
diamond shapes.
me about the sacred geometry that feels safe even at this point.
Yeah, well, it's just what's coming through with your intuition, because some of the, sacred geometry that's been put out there has had, like, those negative overlays over it, like the Metatron cube. I learned about that, and the flower of life. Apparently that one's is all difficult because there's like these overlays into it. So it's like, well, what sort of symbols and geometries are going to be safe now? And it's just like, well, something that comes through you now. It's not going to be something that's plastered everywhere in the new age space. These geometries are going to come through you. These messages are going to come through us. We're not going to be like, let's get Ashtar and he's going to jump into our body. It's going to come from this space, this heart space here. It's not going to come from anything external. This protection, the highest levels of protection, is just that love energy. And I did feel like the presence of like these pink dragon energies before, and the pink energy is like all about self-love, and the self-love connects to the inner heart, like that inner trust, that inner knowing. So it's like they want to be part of this conversation about people trusting themselves, people knowing themselves, because that is going to be part of how we move forward with our own intuitive awareness. Because if you don't have that intuitive awareness, you cannot connect to your higher self if you do not have that self-love that comes from that beautiful pink flame energy.
Yeah, well said. Well said. It's I believe pretty difficult these days for individuals to even have a relationship with their inner world. There's so many on purpose distractions, energies that are here to including social media, which we're on right now. But the more that we can be intentional about our space and what we consume and what we put out there helps to keep our energy clear. But it's it's really challenging. A lot of people have a lot of issue with what I've said about Metatron and oh, what about Metatron's cube? And it's like, well, that's people say, well, it's the Merkaba. But like, no. Metatron's cube is one thing. Your Merkaba is a totally different thing. And so that is the disempowering step, that those overlays are creating. Is like, well, if I'm not allowed, to work with this symbol or work with this image, then how am I empowered to use my energy body, and connect to my Merkaba? But like, well, the idea that Metatron's cube is the same thing as your Merkaba is the disinformation that is leading you away from your own spiritual source. And we just have to keep lovingly bringing that forward. That the things that are as you said, plastered
and like just everywhere. Like I've had to throw some stuff away or give it away because it's just like, oh, this is on everything.
Yeah, and so many beloveds have the flower of life tattooed on their bodies. And I'm like, oh, and I thought it was quite interesting when I started seeing the thing for me was that when the flower of life started showing up everywhere, that was the red flag for me. This is not sacred if they're putting it on modern clothes, if they're selling it,
they're putting it on a mug.
Yeah, it's like it's no longer sacred. And then come to realize the confining energy of it. And then come to realize that smart cities are being set up in a flower of life grid. I'm like,
oh wow, God. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Wow.
So the 5G poles are put within the flower of life, the daisy of death. Let's just give it its proper name. It's referred to as the daisy of death. So, Jamie says, I have a client who saw a floating black cube while she was looking out over the ocean in Florida recently. Any idea what that is about? Her session is next month.
Mm.
Do you want to speak to the black cube at all?
Yeah, well, it would be important to actually, I don't know what some of these UFOs are. I'm going to be honest. Like, they could have any sort of things in them.
Mm-hmm.
You really have to, like, intuitively, like, connect to whatever that is. But, like, black cubes, in my opinion, like, well, not opinion, but they're never anything good. That shape is never anything good. So I don't imagine like a benevolent civilization floating around in a black cube.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my
Yeah.
interpretation of it.
Yeah. So we can know that the black cube what it represents in the Saturnalian agenda of the controlling mechanisms of the matrix. And the yes, Jamie, starting with the clearing is the best thing to do. I would say there might be some subconscious programming within her being that is ready to come to the surface. So if she saw them with her physical eyes, that's one thing. If she saw them with her third eye, that's another thing. But when I see black cubes, are they active or are they docile? I would say. I've seen them around people's feet, right? Of just like, oh, what's that doing there? And that would be like in the sense of there might be some subliminal programming or MK Ultra kind of programming within your being that is holding your client in their place so that they can't break through. And I mean, I would almost relate it to the J seals, that there's like, because they correlate, the black cube is in direct relation with the matrix. The black cube represents the control matrix. So I would, when it comes to clearing these things, you want to have, first of all, hi Helen, welcome, have the separate relating of the planet and the god Saturn. The planet Saturn, in my awareness, and I would love to hear how you feel or think about this, it has been overtaken.
Yeah.
Not the planet itself is not happy with how it's being used.
It's not sovereign. The planet itself is not sovereign. That, hexagonal sort of cute, that, that structure thing that's on the top of Saturn is part exactly. Of that. And it's actually received a message about this in a dream. I saw Yeshua. He was like floating in space. He was above, like he was just above Saturn, and it was this message that he came through in that particular lifetime that he led to, be the seed to help break apart that system, and that he was, one of the pioneers of, and laid the groundwork for us in the Christ consciousness to help to break apart that particular system. So it is a system of black magic. It's like an archonic type of magic. It's an archonic system. And the archonic beings are fallen creational beings, fallen Elohim beings. So he was there to help break apart, and his lifetime was about breaking apart that black magic matrix. Let's just say it's a matrix. It's a matrix of black magics. And so when we see like the black cube energies, as the angels have sort of showed me, that a cube is like a controlling geometry. So if you place anything within a cube, that thing is controlled within a matrix. And they actually showed me, like, if some entities are playing up, you can place them in a cube of light and they can't do anything to the client. They can't, make them like, itch their body, or like make them like want to throw up, because some of these clearings do get a little bit curly. They try and, do all sorts of things to the body. So if you've got like a bigger one, you can place it in a cube. And the cube is the controlling structure.
Yeah.
So they've placed like a cube around us, but it's not a cube of light. It's a cube to control us, and a cube is just the basic geometry for like a controlling structure, a controlling matrix. So Yeshua was about, breaking apart some of that controlling matrix, and the Saturnian sort of energies, like this is interlinked to the galaxy's center as well, the black hole in the center of the galaxy. Like the Saturn energies is like the smaller black magic node on this web, and the bigger one is the center of the galaxy. So they've installed these little bits here and there all over the place.
So even like the central sun of, like the black hole center of the Andromedan galaxy, the Milky Way.
Or the Milky Way galaxy. Yeah, the Andromeda galaxy is a completely different frequency. It is a free frequency. It's a very fluid frequency. It's a divine feminine frequency.
So is the Milky Way galaxy?
The Milky Way is separate. Yeah.
Gosh.
The Milky Way galaxy is separate to the Andromeda galaxy. The Andromeda galaxy is very much high frequency, and is trying. The beings from the Andromeda galaxy are trying to help the Milky Way galaxy, because the galaxy of which that we are in is kind of like considered like a fallen galaxy that needs a bit of help. So that's the final red pill. When you get to the galactic space, it's just like, holy shit. Wow. It goes on. But there are beings within this galaxy, like the Arcturians, that are helping us to no longer be a fallen galaxy anymore. So it's part of a bigger system. The Saturn energy, it's part of a bigger system. There's more links. There's more little bits and pieces.
Other planets, other solar systems that are also being affected by the same thing.
Yeah.
Did you listen to the interview with Archangel Michael with Alabar Jones? He's in Sydney.
No, I didn't.
Really fascinating. Very, very fascinating conversation. And Michael said that the angels themselves were lured here, like they were manipulated by Metatron to come here. And basically Metatron is the architect of the black cube matrix that he has placed over many planetary systems, and just replicates it. Puts himself in power and then puts the demiurge beneath him, who gets to feel like, you get to be the god of this planet, right? And, but you're going to do what I say, within that. And the angels are linked into this triad covenant between Metatron and whomever the demiurge. Here it's Yahweh. So it's interesting to hear you say, like, oh yeah, it goes on, but like, yeah, actually it really does. And so those of you who haven't, like Jamie, who hasn't heard about the black cubes before, look at what in Islam, what is Mecca? It's a big black box that is allegedly housing asteroid. What's the word? Meteor.
A meteorite. Right? Yeah, it's kind of weird, isn't it? If you think, and then people walk around and around and around, almost like in a portal, and it's like, whoosh.
Right. And they walk counterclockwise, which is interesting. They walk counterclockwise. And then in Judaism, if you're, or Orthodox, they also pray with a black cube on their head, and they tie it to their head, and it comes in and there's like black ribbon that comes down, and
they bind themselves with this.
Bind themselves with it. Exactly. Jinx. So, yes. So within Christianity and Catholicism, it's more hidden. It's more, it's not like right there on the surface, but it's there. And
Is there? Well, actually, it is on the surface because you're eating the body and drinking the blood of
yes.
Yeshua. Like what? When
What
I
the?
went through that, because I was christened Catholic as a child, and when I went through that, and when I was at the church, and I was just like, hearing them talking about eating his body and drinking his blood, and I was just like, what's going on? Like, are we doing cannibalism of Jesus? Like, what the hell? Like,
Yeah.
I was so concerned. I was just like, do they have like a dried out bit of his body? Do they have like a piece of his jerky that's sitting in there? Like, I was so concerned.
Feeding all of the Catholics every Sunday. Yeah, even in metaphor, it's disgusting. It's disgusting, and you're absolutely right. That is the obvious aspect connection to that matrix. So let's talk more about Jehovian seals. What can you tell us about Jehovian seals?
Well, my team let me know that they're reptilian in nature, and it's to do with religion. So anyone who comes into this world and they have some sort of religious programming. I never had them on my bodily form, on my energy body. They told me that I never had them because I never believed in any of the religions. Maybe because I was like a starseed that was just here. Like kind of early, but if you've been on Earth for a while, you can have these on your energy body whenever you come in, because you have that religious programming. It's like a religious programming that shuts you out. It's to do with the religions. That's what they let me know. So it's a religious seal. It's a religious control seal. So if you do not, like, if you still have that sort of thing where it's just like, you feel the need to worship something, it's just like the religious control system. Feel the need to worship something, feel the need to participate in these rituals, blah, blah, blah. Like you still have some sort of religious control over you, or still feel the need to delegate your power to an outside source.
Yeah.
Can be like a symptom of having it as well. It's basically like a religious black magic control seal thing. That's the best I can describe it.
It's over your soul. Sounds like it's over your soul and affects your energy.
It's over your energy body. It's like when you come in as a soul and it's like on your energy body because of like all of the lifetimes that you've had as a earth human that's participated in religions, that's had all of this religious programming. So it's basically like a black magic that's connected to religion, and the reptilians are very much connected to religion. The draconians are connected to religion. It is an invention of those beings.
Yeah, wow.
I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah. It's like their signature. Yeah, interesting. The way that I am being shown, I feel like it's similar to this. It could be something else. I feel like I've been put into, or not put, but I have agreed to, supporting particular women of the Rose lineage, or women who, who are carrying the Sophionic Christ Sophia, energy within them, but don't have access to their gifts. I see what kind of looks like an iron weaving over their being, like a cage almost. And it feels, it feels like Jehovian. It feels like the Matrix. And I want to say, like, it's the same thing. I'm just seeing it through my own, filter. Because it feels exactly like that. Like,
it feels like that.
Yeah,
exactly. It cuts you off. Any sort of religious programming cuts you off at the crown chakra, with cutting you off to that source consciousness, cutting you off to that infinite self, that oversoul that's part of you, that multi-dimensional self, and it cuts you off. So that's when you see all these religious people. They get very, very angry with me. They email me sometimes. They're like, you're going to hell, and it's just like, great, I'll be there.
See you there.
Yeah, and like it's those people who are so cut off that like, you know, if like their Jehovah's seal is threatened, they're like go on the attack mode. They can't have it, you know, sort of disrupted. So people can, you know, sometimes they're ready to let go of this. Other times it's just like, you know, they're clawing into this, you know, trying to not let it go. It's like that bit in the Matrix where they, you know, they say that, oh, well, there'll be people who will defend this. They'll defend that cage around them. I can't remember the exact wording, but it's very much like that. It's very much like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. It has there's been definitely a lot of primordial mother coming through in response to them. Like when I am become aware of them, that she rises up and she's like, just kind of
pull that off.
You know, Terry. It's like, which is interesting because Shekinah or Shekinah comes up, and she is, you know, part of the, at least that name is part of the Judeo story, I guess. Like she's one of the original God's original wives or whatever. And so when she shows up, and it's, you know, usually this is the case that I've seen this, you know, cage over someone, she does not resonate with Yahweh at all. She's not in any way connected to the matrix, to, you know, to those energies. And I feel so upset about even the claiming of this energy, to be like, oh, that's just somebody that, you know, we tossed out of the picture because she didn't serve us or she didn't serve the agenda, you know.
Well, because, you know, that feminine energy is, you know, the key to breaking this open. Because like as I was like, you know, feeling into this last night, the Andromeda like galaxy is like very feminine, and that like completely fluid energies. They're fluid energies. The darkness can't really take hold of them as much because they're fluid in nature, and the feminine is fluid in nature. It moves, it dances. So they don't want that energy. They don't want that fluid energy. They want everything in boxes. They want cubes. They want these structures in place. They don't want that fluid, because the fluid breaks things open. The fluid breaks the structures open. It moves around
and finds all the leaks and you know, and holes in the story that, you know. Yeah, absolutely. It makes me think of, you know, the snake that can't be hindered, that can't be caged, but because they can't, they vilify, right? And they turn the serpent into the, you know, the enemy or the devil. Like, well, let's consider that this is the one animal who keeps her belly on the earth her whole life. The most connected, most grounded, most, you know, nourishing aspect of the earth, that can go and hide under the earth and can come out and kill you if she wants, you know. But if you leave her alone, she'll bestow great wisdom upon you. Right? Yeah. I like to think of, you know, that when in the story, and I also want to just like tear apart these stories, you know, the biblical stories. But to say, you know what, when that snake came, that was Sophia. That was the divine feminine saying, here, girl, take a bite. Like, let's get the hell out of here. You know, like that's how I like to see that story.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. I think it would behoove us. It does behoove us to dig deep and look for the women who received their, you know, their visions, their experiences of divinity, you know, and their anchoring. You know, one of the I don't know if this woman is very, very well known, but Hildegard von Bingen, she was basically a doctor, but they, women weren't allowed to be doctors, but she was an abbess. So she was already a leader. Yes, she within the religion, but she was a leader. She was a doctor. She was a composer. She was a poet. She was just full creative energy, creative force, and barely anybody knows about her. You know, so there. I mean, that's just one small example, but our what it feels like the past maybe 10 or 20 years of Mary Magdalene coming back into the picture, of what we've been experiencing as the feminine rising, has been in preparation to everything that's exploding right now.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the dragon energies, I feel definitely a part of that too. I've had goddesses appear to me as dragons.
Mm-hmm.
And just like in dreams and whatnot, and it's just like, okay, well, there's a connection here. And then they keep saying that, like, yeah, we're here, we've returned back to the earth. And they're like sort of snake-like as well.
Mm-hmm.
They've returned. They just keep saying that we've returned, and bringing all of these big changes, breaking up all of these different energies, and that's why we're seeing all of this stuff as well, because they've returned. They're back here.
Mm-hmm. Which has laid the groundwork for this great revealing to be happening. It's not. I think everything is right on time. Yeah, it's quite profound. So, in your work and in your envisioning, how do you see our collective future unfolding?
Mm. Well, it depends upon what we choose to do now as well. Like, it's created in the now moment. So I can sort of like envision that there will be like more of a collective awakening, because it's already happening. It's already taking place. Those energies are already there. We're just going to keep awakening more and more and more. And then we're going to get to that point where like we've had so much collective awakening that we have to do something about it, and we're going to do something about it, and then there's going to be a new age of humanity. Like, they're trying to like steer us back into loops, but it doesn't feel like that's working anymore. It doesn't feel like we're looping into the loops that trapped humans before. So I feel like where we're going now is like whole new territory. Like, people try and say that, it's going to look like this or it's going to look like that. And I've had some clients that have gone to the new earth, and like, it's just our bodies are completely different. The colors of the earth are completely different. Like, the nature is just like, it looks so much more vibrant, and everything is just so much more vibrant. Like, the colors, our perception, our bodies like feel light, and like, even like, we can live like longer because our bodies are lighter. They're at a different frequency. Like, everything is just different. It just seems, when clients have these sessions. And we even have like, they even have like children who are friends with ETs. Like, imagine that. Imagine your child growing up, and then it's just like, oh, well, this is my friend, and it's an Andromedan. And it's like, wow, that's sort of a world for humanity. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So I really hope for that, because it was just so positive and so beautiful, and then they were like crying, like, during the session, because it was so beautiful. So if we keep focusing on how beautiful that can be, and it will manifest completely, it will come into our reality, because it's a storm that we're going through right now. It's really difficult, but like, there's going to be something better that's birthed as a result of this, because we're seeing all of the control systems for the first time, and that's shocking to so many people, but they've been there this whole time. Like, when I was born, it was just like, there's something wrong with this earth, and like, it was very, very much apparent to me, and I struggled all of my life, because I was like, I don't know how I can fit in. I don't know how I can get a normal job. I don't know how to do any of this stuff, because it felt so constrictive. Like, living felt like, walking on glass every single day with the energies. And I
Yeah.
just like realizing it now, you're just like, oh, that's why living feels so tough. We have to give
Mm.
ourselves a pat on the back for how difficult it has been,
Yeah.
and how we're just living, we're moving through it, and we're coming into the other side. That's why we're seeing all of this crap at the moment. It's just like we've been living in this shit.
And agreeing to it for millennia. Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah. It's
yeah.
interesting. I have had a similar but different experience of, oh yeah, this is how it is on Earth. Doo, doo, doo. You know, of like, like of my, and maybe it's because I'm a Taurus, but uh, like my mom would always say, Aaron, you're always really good at pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. Like whatever
Mm,
happens, like you're always, good at, just doing what needs to be done. And I feel well, actually, I'm having a very strong memory right now of 2009, um,
mm,
where I was really in the midst of, pulling back the veil, and I was drinking ayahuasca quite often, and just like really like discovering, what I'm
mm,
capable of as a medium, and
mm,
traveling and everything, and astrally. And I was at my mundane job on the Lower East Side, New York City, and in a women's boutique. I was the manager, and I remember like I'm having this memory right now, standing at one of the clothing racks, and being like, am I? What am I doing here? Just like, is this good? What am I going to be doing? I'm 29. Like, what am I doing here? And this
mm,
immediate voice was like, oh, don't worry, everything's about to change. And that was about a month before I was fired. And then 3 months after that, I was pregnant. So, everything was different and everything did change.
mm,
And in that change was also the realization that was all really happening at the same time, where my friends were like, you need to start charging for your readings. You're a really good psychic. Like, this is where your focus should be. And because I was fired, because I got pregnant, I was freed from the mundane world, moved to upstate New York, and everything changed. And I started
mm,
like embodying, the gifts, and the more that I allowed, they could come forward more. And I think that I'm sharing this right now is that
mm,
we don't know what the thing is that's going to crack us open. We don't know
mm,
when and where or why.
mm,
That's why we have to just keep trusting, right?
mm.
In our connection, in our ability to wake up, in our ability to trust that we're not NPCs. You know who you are. Like if you're here, you're not an
Yeah,
NPC. You know,
definitely not.
because I know that there are people out there that are like, "Am I?" And like if
Yeah,
you're
people that
hearing
ask,
about
"Oh,
it,
do I have a soul?" It's like, yes, you do. If you're
you
asking me,
have
you
to
do.
ask. Yeah. Yeah, for some reason I feel like actual NPCs would never even actually find out about what that is, and
Mm,
but there's, I really, I love hearing your, just like how you're present on the planet,
mm,
and that you were able to, move through all of that to arrive to your work, you know?
mm.
Yeah, and thank
Yeah, it
goodness
was.
for your work.
Yeah, thank you for that. Because yeah, it has been a journey. It was not easy. It was like I wanted to before I was doing this, I had like had this, vision that I was going to live in Japan. I was going to become an English teacher and, just live there. And when I was there, and when like I was preparing in university and on exchange there, I was actually like raped by, Japanese people on like, I thought it was going to be a normal date, but it wasn't. And then I just, spiraled out. I was almost like abducted in the back of a van on the highway when I was living there. And so it was like thank goodness, like I was protected. that didn't happen. But I had so much happen to me, and like, even like during that intense period, even like, dark entities tried to come in and, possess my body, and then were thrown out. So I was really, in the wars, so to
Yeah.
speak.
Wow.
And then came through that and like had this intense depression where I just could not get out of bed for like 5 years. My muscles were like wasting away. And then it was like my guides that came through and were just like showing me love, showing me like shining like love on me, sending me these beautiful dreams, getting me to like wake up and realize like my higher self was knocking on the door to get out of bed. Get out of bed, Elizabeth. Just get out of bed. Like, you just. And then I went through this very intense, very, very intense process of, I was like pretty much telepathic, talking to them all of the time. And it was, it was rough. It was
Wow.
rough. But then
Yeah.
I'm here now because I tried to apply for jobs after I finished university. I didn't get any of them. They would not. And I was just so lost. I was like, well, what's going to happen? Like, they're not, like, I'm not getting anything. These are jobs that like you supposedly just need a heartbeat in order to get, and I just did
Yeah.
not get
Wow.
any of them. They just would not accept me at all. And I was like, well, where am I supposed to be on this earth? Where am I supposed to be? Like, what role do I actually have? And it just did not come through for like, a hot minute there. I was very, very lost. And then, just finding your direction is like, oh, this is what it's meant to be. This is what it's meant. It's
Yeah.
not what I thought it would be, but
Yeah.
it's probably a lot better. It's so much better.
So much better than a mundane job. Yeah,
Mm,
absolutely. Yeah. It's
mm,
incredible to create your own work. Yeah.
mm,
It feels like a privilege, you know.
mm,
Yeah. Uh, yeah. And I just want to support all the men and women, that feel lost and feel like what am I even doing
mm,
here? Like cuz you're supposed to create something else, you
mm.
know.
You're supposed to create something else. If you don't have a place where you fit in, it means that you're meant to create that place for yourself,
Mhm. Mhm.
and then the people will come. But yeah, I'm there for all of the people who do not fit in, because I just
Yeah.
did not fit in at all.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm,
Wonderful. Um, today is today is tomorrow for you, or
mm.
for us, I guess. You're in tomorrow, and I would love to hear about the galactic astrology. Can you talk for a few more minutes? Can we go a little bit longer?
Yeah. Yeah, we can talk for a few more minutes. So I might check the see what sort of connections there are. I have like an app on my phone. There's actually Sirius is like, or Sirius was conjunct um Jupiter at this time. So there was a lot of these Sirian energies that were coming through, and like Jupiter is like all about this expansion energy. So it was like these, and I had like this Syrian remembrance of myself being on Earth as a Syrian being, trying to teach the people of Egypt. And so that came through in this time period where there's this big sort of Syrian expansion. So there is a lot of positive energies, and like a lot of you can connect to those very fluid dolphin energies, the dolphins of Sirius B. You can connect to the pyramid builders and the priestesses of Egypt as
Maybe
well
that's
at
where
this
I know
period.
you
Yeah.
from.
The priestesses of Egypt. Yeah, in this period, because they had a lot to teach, they had a lot to talk about. So that's that Syrian energy coming through, that's big and expansive. So we're coming back into those energies again at this time.
Mm.
Let me have a look at some of the other um alignments. So today Venus is conjunct Akana. So Akana is within the Eridanus constellation, the river, and Akana is very, very magical. There's very magical humanoid beings. So this magical sort of energy with our relationships. there's a lot of good things. There's a lot of good, like, positive galactic elements that are coming through. There's some of these fixed stars I haven't really delved into to see what sort of galactic beings. There's so many that it's just like I'm building like a catalog almost of the
Yeah, I
different
can
sort of
imagine.
galactic energies.
So you go into meditation to connect with them. What's your process?
So my
You don't have to
process is
you don't have to give away too much.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like I focus upon. So I like astronomy as well as astrology. So I like the study of the stars. I like star watching, and I love hearing about all of the different stars and if they have like binary companion stars and star clusters and like elements of the cosmic web. I really, really enjoy it from the scientific perspective and also from the intuitive perspective. So both. And when you connect to a particular star system or to a particular place, and you go into this with like into the Akashic records with show me particular lifetimes or my particular connections to, say, for example, Akana. Show me my connections to Akana. You will be shown that because that's very, very direct. You can use like the actual sky to navigate your own soul explorations. Like the inner world connects to the outer world, and you can use the celestial alignments in order to connect with whatever is coming up for you right now. And so I like to think of, more astrology as a collection of celestial energies that are coming in and hitting us at this particular time. Like the sun may be conjunct to a particular point at this time. Like, for example, the sun is conjunct to Fomalhaut, which is like these, and when I connected to Fomalhaut, there were these feline beings that were very, very, very intelligent, but also very rebellious. So maybe there's that rebellious energy that's coming through and hitting humanity at this time. That's coming through those points and hitting their multidimensional selves and stirring that up. So there's lots of those different energies from here and there coming through. It's like an energetic soup. But you can really, if you pinpoint any particular energies, and this is how I love to use astrology to pinpoint these energies. When you pinpoint and draw a line, and you can like, okay, well, this is where this energy is coming from. This is this part of my multidimensional self that's been activated by these cosmic energies and by the zodiacal cycles. Because my team has explained that like time is not as we think it is. It's cyclical in nature. It follows a cyclical pattern. It's not linear at all. So that's why the stars are so important, because they follow the cycles. They follow the grand cycles.
Mhm.
And so when we connect to, and the earth follows cycles as well, the seasons are a cycle. So astrology and the seasons and the cycles of life, they all connect with each other, and they're all like feeding us these different energies that are activating these different parts of ourselves. It's really about navigating the energetic landscape that we're in. And yeah, and there's lots and lots of layers to it. There's so many different layers to it. I could go on forever, but
Yeah, that's it. When I have had a galactic astrology reading before, I was just flabbergasted at how much information. And I sat there for 3 hours with my girlfriend, just going over all of this stuff. And I'm like, this is wild. All of it resonates. All of it resonated, even while I'm like, but it's been so long, it's like it's
yeah.
so far away, but at the same time, it feels so right now, so present,
Mm,
and
mm,
especially just connected to that infinite now,
mm,
spiraling of time. Yeah,
mm.
yeah, it's so fascinating, so fascinating.
Yeah, it is so fascinating. Yeah, I love
I
doing the galactic astrology. I love practicing it and then actually learning about how these are popping up in the world right now. So I'm getting into a bit of predictive as well, hopefully moving forward.
Yeah, beautiful,
Mm,
beautiful.
mm.
Is there anything that you want to make sure that you share with the group. Let's get your links up.
Mm-hmm.
So you have different kinds of sessions.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to talk about one or two of them?
So the latest ones are the galactic astrology sessions. That's the ones that I've been certified in the latest. That's the latest one that I've been called to do, and they're up on the website now. So anyone who wishes to book a galactic astrology session or a reading is welcome to do so, because they are amazing, and they have see, I do like a video call with the person and explaining all of their galactic connections, or like a fragment of their galactic connections, because your true galactic connections are libraries worth of information almost. So it's a part of their galactic connections that is the most relevant at the moment. We have a face-to-face video call, and then I also send them a document with all of the connections as well, so they can go through it. And that document has so much in there. And then I send them another document that's like a regular natal chart astrology document. So it's just like it's like a package of all of these different goodies. So I really, if you're interested in that, I recommend picking it up, because you're going to get so much from it.
Yeah.
There is like so much stuff that's jam packed into that. And then I have the hypnosis sessions, the beyond quantum healing, the between live sessions where you go to the other side and then you meet with your guides after the lifetime and ask your guides and the soul council questions. It's very much geared towards understanding like why you decided to incarnate on this earth. And then I have the soul center healing hypnosis sessions, which are the entity release sessions and geared towards entity release.
Yeah. So important. So important. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for meeting with me. I'd love to have more conversations with you and talk about all of the things as everything unfolds. I think it's good to come back together with other seers and see like, oh, what are you seeing? What are you working with? How are you dealing with it? We all need to be supporting each other, right? Lifting each other up, and also
Absolutely.
saying like, what are you picking up? Because I'm getting this, and and like it feels like I've said this before, we're all pieces of the same puzzle. And we all have really valuable, unique gifts that are part of the whole, And so I always appreciate these conversations. I have a couple quick announcements for myself. I still have 1 week to sign up for the Magdalene mentorship, and in 2 weeks I'm teaching the the entity clearing protocol that I do, that I've been receiving my whole life. And so you can find that connected to my things, you know where to go. And so grateful, Elizabeth. I look forward to connecting more and also learning, continuing to learn so much. Yeah. Everything that you write, everything that you download is just fascinating. These places I've never heard of before.
I'm learning every day. It's just like there's I can't say that I know it all, because I don't. Because I'm learning every single day, and it's fascinating.
I don't know of anyone that knows it all. I really don't. Yeah. I know people who like to say that they do, but we know better.
Yeah, nobody knows it all. Definitely not.
Well, thank you so much. And thank you all for being here. Please make sure to take a look at Elizabeth's work if you feel called, and give her page a follow, of course. And we'll see you all soon. Thank you to all of the divine beings who grace this space and support it wholeheartedly. We release you. Stay if you will, go if you must. And so it is. Blessings. Take care, everyone.